From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. A Troy University alumnus was awarded the country's highest military honor this week. On Monday, retired Command Sergeant Major Bennie Adkins was presented the Medal of Honor by President Obama in Washington. Adkins, who received his bachelor and 2 master's degrees from Troy, was awarded the medal for his service during the Vietnam conflict. Adkins receives the Medal of Honor because of acts of valor in Vietnam in March of 1966. Adkins fought off enemy forces for 38 hours and evaded them another 48 while awaiting rescue. We'll hear more about Adkins' harrowing story later in this week's show. And Troy University is giving some area community college students the chance to fulfill their hopes of getting a 4-year college degree without affecting their community college credit. Sean Kent explains.
Troy University signed its second reverse transfer agreement with Lurleen B. Wallace Community College in Andalusia. The agreement will allow students who transfer from LBW to Troy the chance to complete their associate's degree while enrolled at Troy.
With this agreement, what we will be able to do at Troy is the registrar's office will be keeping an eye on the academic progress of students that are enrolled at Troy who have come through LBW. And when we think, with the student's permission, that they have acquired enough academic credit to be able to complete the associate's degree, we will inform this institution, and the academic leadership here will make a decision as to whether or not a degree should be awarded.
Troy Chancellor Jack Hawkins Jr. feels the agreement will help not only the students enrolled, but the state as a whole by allowing more people access to a 4-year education.
What we're doing today, I think, will help counter one of those shortcomings in Alabama. You know, by any measure, we don't have too many educated people. And often the barometer for that measurement is found in degrees. And so I think as we recognize the academic work, whether it's here or at Troy, but it culminates in a credential, that's important. It adds so much to the individual's resume, to their preparation, and it adds a lot to the institutions involved.
By entering this agreement with Troy, LBW potentially makes it easier for students to transfer to a school that most LBW students end up attending anyways.
Historically, approximately 2/3 of our students transfer to a university. And among the university transfer students from LBW, the largest number goes to Troy University. And I just see many, many benefits that this is an indicator of, this agreement. And this will directly benefit students. It is a sign of a closer working together with the university.
Sean Kent, Troy TrojanVision News.
Troy entered a similar agreement with Southern Union Community College in Wadley last month. And Troy University's School of Music is in the middle of a multi-million-dollar initiative designed to equip the school with instruments made entirely by the manufacturer Steinway. Those instruments took center stage in a concert to promote the initiative. Whitney Hartzell explains.
The All Steinway initiative, held this past Thursday night in Long Hall, was a night of excellence, beautiful music, and raised awareness.
This is really a fundraising event to let people know about the Steinway initiative and also to appeal to them to partner with us. To get the instruments that we need will be about $1.8 million, and so we're looking for partners who will come in and give to the initiative because they love music and they realize the importance of having those instruments at Troy.
Most of the night's speakers and performers were some of Troy's very own faculty and students. Dr. Hoiting Young expressed why it is important for Troy University to become an all-Steinway school.
Because Troy University, we give the students the best. We commit to the academic excellence. And Steinway in the piano world is the best. It's a symbol of the best. So we want to provide our students the best instrument.
Dr. William DeVan, Professor Emeritus at Birmingham Southern College, was the featured Steinway artist and presenter of the night. The All Steinway Initiative is an ongoing campaign that was announced this past October and launched in November. Dr. Blocker tells us why the night was a success.
I think this is all about partnerships. I don't think we can do this by ourselves, and I think we're developing a community that has been here for a long time of music lovers and followers and supporters and folks that just want to help students do their best. So I'm very excited and hopeful.
Whitney Hartzell, Troy Trojan Vision News.
The All Steinway Initiative fundraiser started late last year, and a new Troy University marketing campaign embraces the warrior spirit. Students now have a chance to put their faces in the campaign using a new website. Dustin Allen shows us how students can access this new technology.
A new website on campus gives students a chance to embrace the Warrior Spirit campaign, and all you need is a selfie.
The new website was really inspired directly by the university's marketing campaign, the Warrior Spirit and Inner Warrior campaign that has been going on throughout this year. And of course the central image in that is the people with the half mask to signify the inner Trojan warrior. And one of the first things that we started hearing on social media was people said, oh, there should be an app or something so that we could do our own custom warrior profile pictures.
The new Trojan Warrior website is designed to allow students to share their Trojan spirit by uploading a photo into the new photo website and instantly becoming a part of this campaign.
So one of the main reasons that we really wanted to put this out there was because we just want people to have a fun way that they can show their pride in Troy University, and we thought this was a great way to let people on social media kind of show their love for their school and the pride that they have, and it's really just a lot of fun.
And students can do just that. It's pretty simple, really. All you do is take a selfie or upload one from a previous file, select a custom background, and you instantly become a part of this campaign. And don't forget to hashtag TroyUSpirit.
This is actually a website, so it's available online at TroyTrojanSpirit.com, and you can go to the website on your phone or any mobile device, and it also works on computer.
Dustin Allen, Troy Trojan Vision News.
Are encouraged to post all their pictures on social media and use the hashtag TroyUSpirit. Well, all of Troy University's freshmen are reading the book Fahrenheit 451 for this year's Common Reader. But now the book will spread out in the surrounding community as an effort to encourage reading citywide. Whitney Hartzell reports.
Troy University has received a grant to promote a program designed to revitalize the role of reading in American culture.
Well, Big Read is something we're really excited about. It is a grant from the National Endowment for the Arts, and it is designed to spread the love of reading and to get people to engage in reading.
The Big Read program exposes citizens to great works of literature and promotes reading for pleasure and enrichment.
The time was coming up to apply for a grant. Didn't we want to think about doing it? Well, since our QEP here at the university has been engaged reading, it was the perfect time to apply. So we got all of our ducks in a row and filled out the application and brainstormed on some activities we could maybe sponsor, sent it in to the NEA, and we got it.
And this year's book is Fahrenheit 451.
It is all about the concept of reading and the ideas found in books. And in Fahrenheit 451, the main character is a fireman. Except unlike what we know as firemen, his job was to burn houses rather than to put out fires. Right. They started fires, and they started fires in houses that contained books.
Wow.
They were against the law to have a book.
Courtney Chandler, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
This week, a Troy University fraternity used a breakfast staple to help raise money to fight a deadly disease. Xavier Harris gives us a look.
Tuesday night, Troy University's Farmhouse Fraternity hosted their Philanthrocakes event where they served all-you-can-eat pancakes for $5 to raise money and awareness for lymphoma and leukemia.
We are here raising money for this boy named Lake with leukemia. He really needs a bone marrow transplant, and we're here to raise money for his cause. Farmhouse does a lot of charity work, and we really like to be involved and help out as best we can. And we heard about this, and it was really something that we wanted to get involved with and really make a difference, and he really needs our help, and we just love helping out.
One Farmhouse member explains how important it is that students come out during this event and participate to help out for a good cause.
It's very important to us just because we've had brothers in our past that have suffered from leukemia and lymphoma. So that's one of the very big things to us, to have everyone involved. Not only that, but there's so many students on campus that have came up to us today, just mentioning that their parents, their cousins, their siblings, someone they knew that is very close to them suffer from leukemia and lymphoma. And it's just a very common disease among many people. So that's how we kind of chose it as our philanthropy, is because of one of our brothers, and because it's such a huge disease for us to be able to help out in and do all that kind of stuff.
And if you were wondering why pancakes so late at night?
Well, a lot of students at night really get involved. Students usually come alive at night. During the day we're going to school, we're taking naps, all that kind of stuff. So at night is the night for everyone to be able to come, socialize, have fun, do all that kind of stuff. So that's how we kind of pick to be able to do it at night.
And what were some students' favorite part about the Philanthropics event?
Pancakes.
The music.
Free food. All proceeds from the fundraiser went to the Farmhouse Be the Match Foundation. We'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll take a look at what's been happening in Trojan sports. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. I'll teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
Now, more of the award-winning Troy TrojanVision News.
The Trojan football team started strong at last weekend's game as they tried to get their first victory. But Abilene Christian came back in the second half to defeat the Trojans. Amy Austin gives us the details.
The Troy football team started off the game with energy and points, but Abilene Christian came back to defeat the Trojans 38-35. And after this tough loss, head coach Larry Blakeney knows his team is in a rough patch this season.
We're in the throes of a sad time here after losing a game to a team that everybody thinks we're supposed to beat. And this team that beat us tonight can beat anybody in this league. I don't know if they could do it if they had to play us all in succession, but they're good enough to beat.
After this loss, the team's morale is down, and to improve for the rest of the season, Blakeney says his team needs to perform better.
That whole group down there is frustrated, and our coaches are, and if any of you think, I'm as frustrated as all of them put together. So, yeah, we're frustrated. We got to play better. We got to do a lot of things better.
With 3 losses against them, the only way for the Trojans to regain their momentum and focus is to get back to the basics.
I don't know but one way, cuz, and that's to lay your shoulder to the plow and go back to work and try to get your players to do the same and intensify your efforts. And I thought we played hard tonight. We didn't play very good in some places, and we gave up too much.
And with other tough teams on the horizon, the focus is to find a way to gain a win.
They're a good team, and they beat us. And we got a bunch more good teams on our schedule. And the only way to keep from going 0-12 is to go to work and try to find a way to beat somebody.
This is the first time under Larry Blakeney that the Trojans have been winless through their first 3 games. The soccer team played a pair of home games over the weekend and came away with victories from both. Jacob Harrison has the details on the first game against Jacksonville State.
The Troy soccer team, coming off a 4-game winning streak and a 6-day break, hosting an old in-state rival, Jacksonville State. The Trojans battled through the heat to take a 3-1 victory.
We've seen this team in the past. We knew that they were going to be a hard game. It was a game that we knew this is going to be a good test for us because this is going to be more what our competition's like in our conference. And we're just happy that we won, and we want to improve every game going forward.
Natalie Malilo got the Trojans started with a header in the 26th minute. It was the freshman's 3rd goal of the season. And in the 47th minute, junior forward Chelsea Williams came up with her 20th career goal to give the Trojans a 2-0 lead.
A great game from Chelsea today. We've been waiting for her to kind of shine for us, and I think this was the game. She had one of her best games of the year, and then puts away the game winner for us, which was a phenomenal goal.
The Gamecocks answered back with a goal of their own in the 53rd minute to snap a streak of 423 scoreless minutes against Troy's defense.
Really high pressure, intense. We smother the ball any chance we get, so they have no options to pass it. So the ball doesn't really even get into our half that much, and when it does, our defenders just take it out.
Kind of been how things have been since I got here. If we don't make mistakes, we're not going to give up goals. We do well defensively, and we made a bad judgment in there on a play, but the team rebounded greatly and came back with another goal.
In the 80th minute, Alyssa Jones finally made her presence felt with the game clincher to earn her 6th goal of the season.
I think she's been a really good player for us, moving her into that offensive role and putting her in a new position. I think she's learning it as she goes on and improving every game. I think it was a frustrating game for her because you come in on a 4-game scoring streak, they're gonna play you pretty hard. So at halftime she's like, they're just following me around. So we just made some adjustments there to try and free her up, play her in a little bit more of a wide position, and it resulted in a goal there to kind of seal the game.
The soccer team then took on UAB on Sunday to finish the weekend with a second win and extend its best ever win streak to 6. They look to add to that as they face a pair of teams at the Jaguar Classic in Mobile this weekend. And the Trojan volleyball team got back on a winning track at home Wednesday night against their first conference foe, Georgia Southern. Amy Austin has the details.
As they opened conference play, the volleyball team took a 3-1 victory over Georgia Southern. The Trojans were able to open conference play at home, which added to the win.
It was always great to play at home. The conference opener is always kind of a special event, and getting a chance to spend it with our fans here. And we knew Georgia Southern was going to be really good coming in, and we weren't worried about their record. They played some really good teams, and we knew they had some outstanding players, and luckily we made stops when we had to.
The Eagles came out fighting and won the first set. Troy then was able to regain momentum and take the next 3 and the victory.
They totally took us out of the game in the first game. We made a couple little slight adjustments, but it was basically getting back to what we try to do and what we want to do. And once we started doing that, we saw the benefits of it, and then that just kind of snowballed a little bit and helped us get a little bit of momentum going forward.
Starting 1-0 in conference play is exactly how the players wanted the outcome of this game to be.
It definitely feels good to start 1-0 in conference. That's the way that we wanted to start out. That was our original goal. The first game was obviously not what we expected as a team, but how we came back is what we expect as a team, because we know that we can do that. So all of us are very proud of each other. We're proud of what we've accomplished, and we're ready to get into this weekend and keep it going.
So far this season, the Trojans are undefeated in Trojan Arena, and head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick says that's due to the overwhelming fan support.
Well, I mean, our fans are amazing. We just we enjoy the support at home. We know, going to our locker room and having the amenities at home, but we're comfortable on the road as well. But playing in this arena, who can not want to play in this building? We want to make it a home court advantage, and the fans are helping us do that.
Amy Alston, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
And the Trojans continue conference play this weekend when they travel to Texas to take on UT Arlington. And the Trojan football team has started the season with a bit of a rust patch. 0-3. And this weekend, the team heads to face an SEC opponent as they look to get their first victory. Amy Austin gives us a preview.
After a rough go with Abilene Christian, Troy heads to Athens, Georgia to take on the University of Georgia. And players know this is a tough SEC opponent.
Whew, Georgia. When you say Georgia, you know they're a good team. We're going to have to prepare hard, We're going to have a mind state of not going out there thinking that we're going to lose. We're going to have a mind state of going out there thinking we're going to win. So this whole week we got to come out here with a sense of urgency, something that we ain't never had before, just because it's Georgia. And we need to do that with every team, but we got to focus on this team first. So we got to come out with a chip on our shoulders at least.
The Trojans are going into this game as the underdog, but senior Chandler Worthy said he's more hungry for a win now more than ever.
I haven't really talked to many of the players, but for me, more than anything, it made me more hungry. I want to win even more now. Just losing to that team and just seeing how you can't take any team for granted. makes us even more hungry for a win because we got to get one. We're scratching and clawing for one. So we all know how much this win could mean if we win this week. So that's the main thing for us, putting our focus in trying to get a W this week.
And the key for Troy is preparation as they try to find a way to upset the Georgia Bulldogs.
I feel like it depends on how you prepare. Pretty sure Abilene Christian came in here as an underdog, just like how we're going to Georgia as an underdog. I feel like that's how we got to look at it. Try to upset them, just how we were upset this week.
Head coach Larry Blakeney said the main goal for his team is to find some way to come out with the victory.
Move forward and try to rectify. The team we playing this week probably ain't no good team to be thinking about rectifying. You know, we got to try to think about finding a way to sneak up on them and try to come out of there and with some kind of victory. We'll look forward to the trip and the plan and try to execute and come out of there with some semblance of win.
The Trojans played Georgia in Athens on Saturday morning. And we're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll hear some offerings from our friends at Troy Public Radio, so don't touch that dial.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
We are America's swim team, united by goggle marks,
Dry skin, and webbed feet. Separated by seconds. Bound by friendships.
We have superhuman powers, superhuman lungs,
Superhuman strength. And we love that after the chlorine wears off,
and the water drains from our ears.
we are still America's swim team. I am. I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
We are America's swim team.
Now, more of the award-winning Troy TrojanVision news.
Each week, we take some time to hear some of the work done by our broadcast partners at Troy Public Radio. This week, we'll get another sample of Talk of Troy, the student-produced newscast of Troy Public Radio. Now, let's take a listen.
It's the Talk of Troy. Voices and sounds from the campuses of Troy University. I'm Joey Hudson. This week, we learned that a graduate of Troy received one of the nation's highest honors, and producer David Cadell has the story.
I'd like to ask Bennie Adkins to come join me on stage.
This week, Army Sergeant Major Bennie G. Adkins, resident of Opelika and a graduate of Troy University, received the Medal of Honor for bravery and gallantry in the Vietnam War. President Obama awarded the medal to Adkins on Monday at a press conference in D.C.
On March 12, 1966. While carrying a wounded soldier to the extraction point, he learned that the last helicopter had already departed. Sergeant First Class Adkins' extraordinary heroism above and beyond the call of duty are in keeping with the highest traditions of the military service and the United States Army.
Adkins was inducted into the Hall of Heroes in Washington on Tuesday. For the Talk of Troy, I'm David Cadell.
The end to slavery wasn't quick and painless by any means, and a current exhibit at the Rosa Parks Museum, called Slavery by Any Other Name, explores the issue in a new way. Exhibit curator Dan Neal says the book by Douglas Blackman inspired artist Robert Claiborne Morris.
Robert went out to the camps, to the turpentine mills, to the mines, and found fragments of this former history and has incorporated them into these beautiful and haunting paintings.
Neal says the exhibit also highlights the number of lives affected.
You realize the impact that this convict leasing had on primarily the African American population here in the South.
The Slavery by Any Other Name exhibit will be open to the public until October 25th at the Rosa Parks Museum on Troy University's Montgomery campus. I'm Joey Hudson, and you've been listening to The Talk of Troy, a production of Troy Public Radio.
Throughout the week, Troy Public Radio can be heard on 89.9 in Troy and Montgomery, 88.7 in Dothan, and 91.7 in Phoenix City. And it's time for our last break, but when we return, we'll get a first-hand account of the battle that led to Troy alumnus Bennie Adkins being awarded the Medal of Honor. That story is after the break, so stay with us.
The warrior spirit. It's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence, conquer, claim territory, and climb ladders. Know that you have the power to stand alone, but the comfort of knowing that you'll never have to. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now, more of the award-winning Troy TrojanVision News.
As we mentioned earlier, Troy alumnus Bennie Adkins was awarded the Medal of Honor this week. The story behind the battle that led to this honor plays out like something you'd see in a Hollywood action movie. In our last segment, CBS News reporter David Martin sits down with Adkins to hear his story.
The saga of Sergeant Bennie Adkins reads more like Hollywood than something that happened to a real person. Cut off, low on ammo, and outnumbered 10-1.
We would hear the North Vietnamese chanting, getting ready to make the assault.
It was March 1966. A remote outpost in the heavily jungled Ashall Valley, manned by 17 Green Berets and about 400 South Vietnamese troops, came under attack.
How accurate was their fire?
Super accurate.
Do you get hit?
Yes.
How many times were you wounded?
They treated me for 18 wounds.
2 regiments of North Vietnamese regulars came out of the jungle.
They did get in the camp with us, and it was hand-to-hand combat.
They're bringing that stretcher. Look out.
The Green Berets suffered 100% casualties. 5 dead, 12 wounded. Adkins stayed behind to fight, at one point dashing outside the camp's perimeter to retrieve desperately needed ammunition that had been dropped by parachute and landed in the middle of a minefield. A South Vietnamese soldier with him was hit by enemy fire.
And while I was carrying him back to the camp, the North Vietnamese shot and killed him and wounded me a little through his body.
After 38 hours of non-stop combat, helicopters finally broke through to evacuate the survivors.
How many helicopters got in?
5 or 6 made it. The others were shot down.
But Adkins missed the last helicopter out, so he led 4 other survivors into the jungle.
That is the night that the tiger stalked us.
You heard right, a tiger.
We could see the eyes of and hear this tiger, and the tiger could smell the blood on us. And come to find out, the North Vietnamese soldiers was more afraid of the tiger than they were us. They backed off and we were gone.
So the tiger saved your life?
Absolutely.
The next day, a helicopter rescued them. But Adkins, who is estimated to have single-handedly killed as many as 175 of the enemy, wasn't done fighting. He grabbed a machine gun.
And got in a few parting shots?
Yes. What do you call that? A business card on the way out.
All the Green Berets were decorated, but incredibly, Adkins did not receive the Medal of Honor until today, 48 years later. David Martin, CBS News, Washington.
An absolutely amazing story. Congratulations once again to Bennie Adkins for that honor. And that's what happened on the 3rd week of September 2014. To find out what's happening throughout the week, you can tune in to Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30, Monday through Friday, or follow us on Twitter at Troy TV News, or like our Troy TrojanVision News fan page on Facebook to see links to online content from Troy TrojanVision News. We hope you join us again next week for another edition of Troy TrojanVision Weekly. Have a good week.
Welcome home, man.